Da 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 da. Dee 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 dee. Da 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 da. Dee. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. You've caught me a bit unexpected here, a bit unannounced. I was reading my latest copy of Shuffling Ferment Magazine. Comes with Shuffling Beer 52, previous episode, Beer 52. Tasty Shuffling Beer, check it out. All right, welcome to the latest instalment of Shuffling Big Al Shuffling Quickshots. Now stick around, because you're in for a Shuffling seat. We will be doing a little whiskey tasting in a second, just a quick one. Can't be too long on this one, because it is a Quickshots anyway. But also our Charlie's wrapping his tits up for a week at school. So I've got to pick him up in a bit, getting back for his Shuffling seat, you know what I mean? Another thing as well, Mike Thompson at the work, the ex-Navy guy, was a big fan of bloody Margaret Thatcher and Boris bloody Johnson, but that's a different Shuffling episode. He asked me for a little bit of advice just at the end of the shift, because he's going out on the bloody Raz, he's going out, and he says, what shall I Shuffling drink? I said, well, make sure you drink alcohol. He says, stay clear of the Shuffling tap water. Might be good for your teeth, but that's about it. But he don't know whether to drink Guinness or Kronenberg 1660 Fuller or Shuffling Old Peculiar. I says, well, it's a Shuffling Old Blend, isn't it? He says, it's got to be Old Peculiar. He says, why is that, Big Al? I says, because you're old and you're extremely peculiar. Proceed Shuffling Pudding, what a stupid bloody question. You know what I mean? It's what we're Shuffling dealing with where I were, these kind of Shuffling characters. Right, anything else to Shuffling quickly report before we go into the whiskey tasting? I don't think so. Right, so the latest on the Big Al Shuffling Miniature Series, Shuffling LEDAIG 10. Right, I've wrote a few little bits and bobs down about this bad boy. It's made at the Tobermory Distillery on the Isle of Mull. LEDAIG is the peated variation. It's distilled using the same pot stills as the Tobermory expression, just with peated barley instead. So basically a sister or brother or younger or older sibling, basically of the Shuffling Tobermory, but this is peated, whereas Tobermory is not peated. The expert analysis is that on the nose it's well-rounded, gentle smoke, and it says the smoke character is medicinal rather than campfire, so it's got that almost like you're in a bloody dentist waiting room kind of flavour, chemical flavour, rather than like kind of cinders and all that kind of stuff. Palate, good body, quite decadent, spice and smoke, dry and peppery. So it sounds very, very intriguing. So we're going to crack her up and we're going to get a flaming pour in. No Shuffling messing about on the Big Al Show. I think this is the first peated one we have done. We've had ones that have got very, very subtle elements of peat in them, but I think this is the first one that is more of a full-bellied kind of peat experience. So I'm looking forward to it. Let's get a Shuffling cracked open. Yeah, pouring glass. Just a little dabble. Because I might something Shuffling overboarding a bit. Here we go, let's have a nice light colour. This, to my eyes, looking at that colour, this is not coloured. This is, I'll just let you see it a little bit. You might not be able to catch it properly in light, but that, I don't think that's coloured. It's not got that kind of archetypal coloured whiskey look to it. This is going to be natural. It's a nice little Shuffling natural colour. Courtesy of the Shuffling barrels, you know. I had my nose there about Shuffling 10 inches away from the glass. I can already smell peat on it. So it's going to be a smoky little Shuffling up for this one. It's really sweet. Yeah. And it is the more medicinal kind of peat smell. It's lovely, and I want to get 1 second. I mean, just before I do that as well, I forgot in the last episode, and I'm forgetting again. There's been complaints. I've got to throw this in because there was complaints. Somebody had me by the lapels. They had me on the toes the other day because I didn't do this. Left nostril, right nostril, chin, left nipple, right nipple, belly button. Hey! Are you happy now? Thank you. I really like the smell. It's a little bit, even I can smell even a little bit of a fruity character. It's light, it's airy, it's briny, it's got that kind of, rather than the cinders of a campfire that's kind of dwindled down and burnt down. It has got that more of a medicinal kind of fragrance to it, but really, really nice. Get a chuffing little wrap round the old bloody esophagus, the old chuffing tonsils, and we'll see what we reckon to it. Cheers. That's good. That's a nice drop. It's got plenty of power. Quite spicy, quite peppery, and it dances. In fact, I don't know of a better way to describe, but it almost dances on your palate. It's like it's fizzing, like it's just jumping up and down, little beads on your palate, but in a very, very pleasant way. I would call it excitable. It's an excitable, cheeky, smoky little chuffy nip. I could suck that. LEDAIG 10. LEDAIG 10. Quite potent. 46.3%. Rich peach, smoke and spice. 10 years old. Now that, I would recommend it. I'd recommend that quite highly. It's not, it's lively, it's energetic. It's got even though it's 10 years, so it's got a little bit of heritage to it. It's still youthful. It's still got that kind of youthful vitality to it, you know what I mean? It's not a tired old chuffing number. It's really, really, that's a nice bloody drop. One last little bloody sip. And the second mouthful's better than the first. Always a good sign. Some whiskies, some of the not so good quality whiskies, tend to like kind of descend on the second flavour sometimes. You know, you've tasted all you're going to taste in first one, and it starts to lose like its little bit of initial impact. This one's a grower. You know, you have a couple of these, you're going to really start to enjoy them. But I'm impressed. Never had it before. Never sucked it before. Nice little chuffy drop. Right, quickly, before we chuffing tune out, we've done stories about my grandparents on my mum's side, but we've never done any stories at all about grandparents on my dad's side. So we're going to do a quick one about my granddad Maddison, my dad's dad, obviously. Only very, very short. You're only about 5'3". Used to be able to hug him and rest my chin on top of his chuffing bald crust, you know what I mean? But got lots of stories about him. We'll do a quick one. On a Thursday, when I was at secondary school, when our Scott was still at secondary school, because he's a bit older than me, we used to go every Thursday and he used to cook us some food. And then on his dinner break, and then we'd go back to school and finish day off. But this is after our Scott had left, our Scott had gone. So they're just basically me, and I had a mate called Glenn White. And we come out at school, completely just avoided me chuffing mind, you know what I mean? You know what kids like, get talking about this, that, and over. Probably about 15, 16-year-old, you know. And we set off in the completely opposite direction to where they had these like shops, and we used to buy all sorts of chuffing shit from. There was a fish and chip shop, and next door there was a normal shop. And I bought, I think, £1.50 worth or £2 worth of chuffing toffee barrels. And in this day, I mean, I'm 46 now. This is when I was like 15, 16. Chuffing 30 years or so. £1.50, £2 worth of toffee barrels. You could get some chuffing toffee barrels, you know what I mean? Comes out. Bloody scoffed all that. Probably ate a few other little bits of it. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, shit. He says, what? I says, my granddad. I'm meant to be at my granddad's today. So I chuffing sprinted. What were basically, best, and it was middle of summer, red hot chuffing day. So I've had all these bloody toffee barrels. Sprinted all the way to my granddad's house. And he says, basically, obviously, where you been? You're late. And I come out with some chuffing old pony, some excuse about fire alarm had bloody gone off and the lined us all up outside, and I apologise. He believed me, you know what I mean? Sits down. And my dinners at my Grandad Maddison's were always basically fundamentally chuffing same. You know what I mean? So he'd come out with, there were a few subtle variations, but they were primarily, you knew what you're going to get. So I'm thinking, after these chuffing toffee barrels, oh my God, you know, I'm in for a bloody treat here. Plate comes out. 5 or 6 chuffing big fat chuffing sausages. 5, 6, 7 chuffing fish fingers, along with the sausages. So it's chuffing surf and bloody turf, you know what I mean? And then beans, 2 cups of great big chuffing, steaming cups of chuffing tea, and always followed by a bloody king-size Mars bar. So I bloody scoffed it. I'm a bit laboured, but I scoffed it down. You're not going to eat your bloody Mars bar? And he's looking a bit like kind of crestfallen, a bit disappointed because he likes to see me enjoying his bloody grub, you know what I mean? So I bloody thought it's Mars bar now, me. I had a little bit of chit-chat about this time chuffing over. Time to get back, approximately time to get back to school. So I said hello, washed my last bloody cup of chuffing tea now. There were a park near the school called Chuffing Snipe Park. And on it, at that time, it's no longer there, but at that time, it had the smallest roundabout in the Chuffing area. Tiny little bloody roundabout. Gets on there, don't I? So I'd had £1.50, £2 worth of bloody toffee barrels, 5 or 6 sausages, 5, 6, 7 fish fingers, half a tin of chuffing beans, 2 great big mugs of tea and a king-size chuffing Mars bar, baking on all that running, all that effort to try not to be too late. And I thought it'd be a good idea to get on this bloody roundabout while one of my mates span it round as fast as he could. And this kid had quite big chuffing muscles, you know what I mean? So I'm pulling about chuffing 9, 10, 11 chuffing G-force. I'm like an F-16 chuffing, but like a bloody astronaut, you know what I mean? Didn't take too long, you know what's coming. Technical and chuffing psychedelic, chuffing yodel, they were chuffing vomit, flying all, and because I was going around the roundabout, as it was coming back, it was kind of blowing back in, so it was splatting me. I'm going round at 6 coming in that direction, splatting me in the face, all in the air, all over me chuffing belly. I look like chuffing technical and chuffing dream coat by the time I'm chuffing done. Right, I'm sorry to cut it short, but I'm looking at the chuffing time. We've got to pick up a little chuffing man, make sure he's all right. And we'll catch you later, sunshines and sweethearts. Peace.